Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to embark on a journey like no other. Welcome to the Glum Lot Podcast,
your go-to destination for a unique blend of recovery and discovery.
I'm Brett.
And I'm Mark. And in this podcast, we will endeavor to create a safe and uplifting space for our guests and listeners to share their stories with sincerity and a touch of humor.
Remember, we are not a Glum Lot. The Glum Lot Podcast is more than just a source of entertainment. It's a beacon of hope, proving that even in the darkest moments, recovery is possible. Every story we share carries the power to inspire positive change.
So buckle up, get ready to listen, and join us in discovering the strength that lies within every individual's journey. This is the Glum Lot Podcast, where humor meets hope. All right, Brett, we are here for episode number 99.
Woo-hoo, baby, I can feel the hundy coming.
Oh, if only Wayne Gretzky was an alcoholic and we can have him on the show. Right? Number 99.
If you're a celebrity and are listening.
Yeah, we want you.
Yeah, like, come on, Rob.
We want some street cred. Oh, I love Rob Lowe. It's funny, I just saw a little posting about Rob Lowe today.
Yeah.
Fucking love him, man.
I'll take Steve-O. That'd be a good one.
Yeah, there's a lot of celebrities out there that have good stories. And a lot of celebrities that have bad stories, too.
Yeah, that can't tell them anymore.
Yeah. You know, we want to remind our listeners to, if you want to get a hold of us, I want to be a guest on the show, know somebody who would be a good guest on the show, any comments, you can email us at theglumlotpodcast@gmail.com. Also, please join our Facebook group at the Glum Lot Podcast at Facebook.
Yeah, just Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah.
So today, our discussion topic is going to be helplessness.
Yeah, helplessness.
Wait, was that it?
No.
What was it?
It's
hopelessness.
Powerlessness.
Today, our discussion is going to be about baselessness. No, I'm kidding. Powerlessness.
Are we for real right now?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's powerlessness.
I'm powerless over my idiotic comments I make.
Yeah, so what I've heard in lack of power, that was our dilemma.
Right, it says that right in the big book.
It does.
It is,
it's
too.
a good place to find that.
The problem is our powerlessness also has a component of denial in it. Because we still forge ahead thinking, this is going to be different. Now I'll have the power to make things happen the way I want them to.
Right, right.
And when that crashes and burns, as it always does, there's always the drink.
Yeah.
You know,
Life
that's one thing I
will
can have
humble us
power
a little
over.
bit. Oh, yeah.
You know, I can shut myself in a dark room, pour myself a drink, and about the second drink in, start to feel like, okay, I'm good now.
I got it.
Yeah, I get that warmth spread throughout my body, and every nerve ending relaxes, my mind slows down. The only thing I want to do is just have one more, just one more, and then just one more.
And then starts the spree.
Yes. And so this powerlessness thing is something we tackle in sobriety, in AA. You know, we talk about this higher power that we have to get sober, and we have to rely on to make it so that our lives get good enough that we don't want to drink. We don't want to escape the way we feel. We're comfortable in our own skin. And that power is not going to come from us.
Correct.
It's going to come from our higher power.
Yeah, because our power actually got us in a lot of trouble, or our perception of our power, right? One of my favorite things in the big book is the actor running the show, right?
Yes.
He thought he had all the power to make all the lights work perfectly, to have all the actors do exactly, and everything was arranged perfectly. But the problem was,
he wasn't the director.
Yeah, he's the actor, right?
Yeah.
And so it causes us a lot of problems. And then what really gets us in a bind is when things don't comply or don't work out according to what we think.
Right.
That
Then we
power,
cop resentments.
Right.
We get the poor me's.
That's right.
King Baby comes out with his rattle.
Oh,
I want what I want.
Yeah, that's right. So, you know, that's where that power does get us in trouble. So, yeah, it's an interesting thing.
Yeah, and you know, when I was growing up, nobody ever goes, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Now that you're 8 years old, let me explain how things really work. You're not in charge of your own life.
Right.
You are to some degree.
Correct.
You can make decisions.
Correct.
But what's going to happen is outside your control. All you can do is make a plan, do the best you can, and roll with the punches.
And you're
adapt.
And you're not smart enough to make it
Right.
all perfect.
But that's not what I got growing up.
Yeah,
and I can't blame anyone. I came up with this conception on my own. But when I came into AA and I put the drink down, then I was like, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm very uncomfortable in my own skin. Now I don't have alcohol to.
And our power wanted to tell us that wasn't the case. Like,
Yeah.
constantly.
So luckily we have these steps and this design for living, I always refer to it as, and many people do, that shows us this is how you can really live successfully, But it's going to take surrender.
Yeah.
Like you got the balls to
and
surrender.
a little stripping down of our ego.
Yeah.
To be able to get to that point where we have enough humility where change can enter us, right?
And the funny thing is, like, people would think, well, powerlessness, that must feel terrible.
Right. Who would want that?
But it's like, no, now I'm in line with reality.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a much better place to operate from. And my life has more serenity in it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we live a wonderful life this way where we don't have to worry about running the show.
Indeed.
Yes. He's trying to cut me off.
No, I'm our guest is here.
Oh, see, I forgot because I was
very
so
excited
interested in
about
myself
him.
and talking.
Yeah, you know what his name is?
No.
His name is Gino.
Oh.
The first time I ever met him, he told me his name was Gino. And so what did I do?
You went right into the accent.
Nope.
No, I'm surprised.
I turned around and I called him Mario. So part of my addicted brain was like, well, it's something Italian. It must be Mario.
This is what I want it to be. Yeah, Mario.
So without
That's what it
further
is.
reflection, we're not going to welcome Mario. We're going to welcome Gino.
Gino.
Welcome to the Glum Lot Podcast, Gino.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Glad to have you. Just want to start with your sobriety date.
The last time I had a drink was October 21st, 2024.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Yeah, coming up on a year.
Yep.
Fantastic. What was your first experience like with drugs and alcohol and the effects thereof?
All the details. I got to get that in there. 'cause
He
I
always
want
says
all
that.
The details.
Details?
Very creepy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do it.
The first time I remember really drinking, I think I was in 9th or 10th grade, and went to a friend's house and got into his father's bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I had fun. I rode my 10-speed home from there. And
How old were you?
it was 9th grade or 10th grade.
Okay. All right.
And I remember, feeling pretty crappy the next day.
Yeah, but you definitely got a buzz.
Oh, God, yeah.
Was it fun?
Yeah, I loved it.
Were the wheels even touching the ground? You felt like it floated all
Do
the
you
way home?
have a basket with the?
I don't know. I was just grinning ear
Extraterrestrial?
to ear, so that didn't matter
yeah.
to me.
Yeah, right.
So after that initial hangover feeling, were you like, I want to do that again?
Not really, because being a child of the 70s, when I went to high school, I got into pot.
No.
Smoking weed. Did you smoke weed before you drank, or no?
No, I had that bourbon day was the first time,
Yeah.
and then I remember me and a friend of mine, Mike, was the first kids in 9th grade to grow our hair long.
Oh.
You mean you guys were fucking hippies?
That's right.
Oh, my.
Damn.
So of course, I hung out with that crowd and got into pot and smoked a lot of pot. I didn't really drink
Yeah.
Yeah.
until I got to college.
That was your thing.
Oh, no kidding. You were more of a weed guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Stoner.
I mean, I'd go out, occasionally, and
Did you guys have like a spot in the woods or something that you would go to?
no, just the backyard.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I mean, Gino and I are the same age. And back when I was growing up, it was, pretty accepted. It wasn't legal,
Right.
but everybody was doing
Clearly
it.
everybody was doing it.
yeah.
But
Nobody was looking for you
That's right.
to do
That's
it.
right.
It's,
So you're saying that your drinking mostly started in college. So you go off to college, right? Do you go to college away from home?
yes.
Okay.
Well, I did some, my senior year, because the drinking age was 18 back then.
Yeah.
So I would go out to bars, listen to music, and, have a few pops. But then I would hang out. I met some friends that were probably 4 or 5 years older than me. And, I liked their kind of music. And so I just hung out with them. I never really hung out with kids my own age or my
yeah,
own.
it's
Those
pretty cool
older
to hang out with
influences
these
are always
guys.
bad.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Hey, let's get Gino drunk.
No, it wasn't that. They in fact, I did in high school. I probably did more pot and acid and all that than than anything.
Oh, okay. So let's get back to that for a second.
Yeah.
What else? Back in it was the mid to late 70s, right? So
Yep.
I remember a lot of acid. I also remember Quaaludes and Black Beauties.
Mescaline.
And, you experimented with all that stuff. Would you say that you were kind of like a hippie head kind of guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just I really wasn't into drinking for the first couple of years of college. I may have a few.
Yeah.
But what I learned is, if I got high, I didn't drink.
Okay.
Because they just didn't mix.
Yeah.
So what point does alcohol enter the equation then?
I gave up smoking pot because it got to the point where I was, were playing games like Can I Find My Legs?
Yeah. You're getting way
just getting too high. Yeah, and fire drills will go off in the dorm, and everybody's on lewds or something, and it's like, oh.
What a show.
So then I got into music, and then I just started going drinking because again, where I went to school, the bar hours were dictated by counties.
Oh.
So where I went to school, the bars closed at 1 o'clock. If we drove 10 minutes to the next county, they were open until 2.
Okay.
So we would finish up there and head to the next county.
Drive drunk to the next county.
I rode drunk.
Yes, of course.
Just as dangerous.
The statute of limitations is
I was
over
at
by
that
now.
awkward stage.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
indeed.
Yes.
So
But,
does your drinking ramp up pretty quickly?
Yeah, it does.
What'd you like about it?
I just like the buzz and camaraderie with everybody else. And, there's a lot of, back in college, you had what we call the loose juice, where everybody pours everything at the top.
Wapatula,
Wapatula,
around the
called it.
world.
Yeah,
There's a lot of names. What did you guys call it? The loose
Loose
goose?
juice.
Goose juice. Huh.
Okay. All
So,
right.
just everybody pour everything into the top.
Yeah, whatever you got.
Yeah.
I was playing rugby then, and all my friends were lacrosse players. And, I was still a hippie, but I was, barbarian hippie with the rugby club.
Okay.
Barbarian.
Right.
Of course, with rugby, you have to drink.
Oh, of course.
Well, with college, with rugby, any of the sports really, there's a whole drinking culture around that,
Yep.
and everybody has to outdo each other. And oh man, you should have seen Gino last night. His stories, and you find your glory in that. There's
yes.
a brotherhood.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So you
Well, looking
experience all
back
that
on
stuff.
it wasn't the glory then.
Yeah, right. Of course not. Of course not.
So do you get through all 4 years of college?
Yep.
At any point during this 4 years, are you thinking this is kind of getting out of control, or was it a good out of
Or
control?
was somebody telling you that? Were there any circumstances?
I've had, at that time, a few people said, you're an alcoholic.
Oh, wow. Straight up.
And said, no, I'm not.
Oh, right.
So when did you really feel like alcohol might be a problem?
Oh, God. Probably years later, my my mother was an alcoholic.
Oh, okay.
All my relatives were. I moved up to New York when I was 9
From where?
from Texas.
Oh, did you grow up in Texas?
Well, I was an Air Force brat, so I've been
You were all over the place.
Mississippi, Germany, Texas.
Yes.
And
Did you ever run into a drummer for the Air Force band?
Yeah. With this
not
humongous
that.
ego
Not that.
the size of a timpani.
Anyways, we digress.
yes, but and part of that was going way back then. I wasn't raised Catholic, but I would go to a Catholic church with my grandparents and all my uncles.
Mm-hmm.
And then right after church, we would go to my grandmother's house where we lived at the time. And the poker table came out. The refrigerator was full of beer. And everybody would sit around and play cards and drink beer. So I got to thinking, this doesn't make sense what I just heard in the big building down there. So, but,
Yeah.
it's neither here nor there. But, as time progressed, and, I was a great student in high school. And ironically made the dean's list in my last year of college.
Unbelievable.
Wow. How'd you pull that off?
I'm so jealous of you people. I failed the fuck out.
It was like a whole lot of peanuts and a little bit of magic.
What did you bang one of the teachers or what?
No, Jif peanut butter.
Oh, Jeff.
Put it in peanut butter?
Hey, now.
This is getting awesome.
What the hell is going
Oh,
on?
I don't know. This is
Is this a porn show? I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, the music.
hope no one's offended.
The music kind of leads to that, doesn't it?
I guess.
Anyways,
Anyways,
here we go again.
You make the dean's list the last semester. You finally something clicked the last semester.
Yep. And again, my mother's an alcoholic. She worked 2 jobs to raise us.
Yeah.
3 kids, and so I went to VFW after college, and I actually meet her down there and pick her up and have a few beers. Beer was cheap there.
Yeah.
And I never really got blackout drunk. I'd have a few beers and enjoy myself, have fun. And then
Were you still smoking weed or no?
No, I gave it all up then.
All the drugs.
Yep.
Just kind of worked your way out of it.
Yep. Decided that was it for me.
But the funny thing is, like with the drugs too, is that alcohol is legal, it's accepted, it's portrayed as being cool. Dean Martin, back when we were growing up, Dean
Not
Martin's
bad
got the
for you.
martinis.
Right.
I want to be that guy. That guy gets all the chicks. So it's so socially acceptable. It is hard to say I should quit doing this. But the other stuff, they're drugs. Drugs are bad.
Right.
No, I never thought that. I just always had fun.
Dope is for dopes.
No, I had no regrets.
Yeah.
No bad acid trips.
I
Everything
was
was
so
great.
afraid of those psychedelics.
No
great.
regrets. Me too. I did everything pretty much, but psychedelics scared the shit out of me. I always thought I'd be the guy that would jump out the window.
Yeah.
I'd be the guy
Yeah.
that would fight the train.
Or stare at
That's
the
our
sun for 8
anxiety
hours and
problems
never
that we
blink.
have.
Yeah, exactly. So I knew myself enough to not do that. But so you get out of college. Do you immediately find employment?
Yep, I worked at a psychiatric unit for a while.
As an inpatient undercover?
Part-time.
Or-
No, I had a degree in psychology.
Oh, is that what your degree?
wow.
Interesting.
So I
That
worked
is
as-
interesting.
First.
And then
that's a first.
after about a year I got hooked up at this Cross Hines in
Local hospital.
A manufacturing
Yeah.
facility.
Oh, yeah.
Or hospital, as you like to call it in your
No,
culture.
that's not a hospital at all. Sorry.
and the pay was 3 times what it was.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
it was
a
a big
union
deal.
job or no? Was it a union?
No, it was
It's just a good paying job. Though.
Yeah.
So yeah,
production scheduler.
so you're set. You figure I'm set right
Yep.
now. I'm
Yep.
good, right?
Yep.
Does your drinking ramp up?
It probably stays the same. Again, all my friends, like I said, I don't remember much back then about blacking out and driving home drunk and things like that.
It was still social.
Yeah. If I'd been stopped, it might have been a different story.
Oh, okay.
But I remember one time I was driving home and I had an old '65 Chevy. It went like kind of sideways down the road.
Yeah.
And
The
the
back
cop
is at
pulled
a
me
different
over.
angle.
And I had a few beers, long hair, and he talked to me and he said, "Hand me your keys." So he went to hand him my keys, and just as he held his hand out, and just as I dropped him into his hand, moved his hand out of the way so they fell on the ground.
Ooh.
So I bent down, picked him up. That was fine.
Oh, he wanted to see if you could bend down and get him without falling
Without
down.
falling on your face.
Oh, that
Yeah,
was
that's
his
a-
litmus test.
Yep.
Oh, it would.
So, but this is back in the '70s.
Yeah,
right?
right.
Things were different.
I
Things were
got
different
I got
then.
pulled over before
Yeah.
under the influence, and they let me go.
Me too.
That shit doesn't happen anymore.
No, God,
oh my
no.
God,
No.
They crack down. Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and it's a good thing. It saved a
course.
lot of lives.
Of course.
And you know what? A lot of times people get the nudge from the judge and get sober as a result of making that mistake. So,
Well, and just a cute story is, I was playing rugby when I got out of college.
Yeah.
With a team in town, and that's when MADD was very popular. So one of the rugby guys came up with a new organization called DAM.
what was
which
that?
is Drunks Against Mad Mothers.
Oh shit!
Of course.
And you were the poster boy.
Well,
for
man,
that?
Not me. I said that's
Yeah,
okay.
We'll make anything work for us.
Well, you got to have
Right.
a sense of humor.
Of
you know?
course.
So you're working in a manufacturing thing, doing shift work.
Well, I was again being in
Scheduling.
salaried. I'm working 9 to 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you are drinking in the bar with the boys after work, whatever,
No, not all the time.
Okay.
You know, because at that time I was starting to get into music and get into bands.
What do you like? What kind of music? Just
You
curious.
name it. But, back then it was the 80s, so the bands I was in, we were doing Eddie Money and
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You're playing bass.
Yep.
Ah.
And so at what point does your drinking take off?
Probably later on in life. I mean, again, playing like I heard you mention in another podcast that when you're around music, that's all there is. We played weddings, so the bride
Open
or the
bar.
father wants to buy you beers, and there's a few of them I should never have driven home from, but I did. But thank God I never stopped. But that would pretty much be about it.
So your alcoholism didn't get really bad till later in life.
Right.
You're a bit of
Took
a
a
late
while.
bloomer.
Yeah.
And I was probably, I heard the term, functional alcoholic.
Sure.
Because I could drink, I'd go to work. I remember
You were
sometimes
doing all the things.
being at work at 7 in the morning, and one of the foremen saying, "God, you smell like a brewery." So, well,
Was there any repercussions at work as a result of your
Nope.
drinking?
Nope.
Nothing.
That outside of me being unfocused.
Yeah. Personal.
Were you married at the time?
Yes.
Okay. Any problems with the relationship as a result of drinking?
No, because my wife's family were serious drinkers. Like we had at that time had a camp on a little lake, and that's when the Matt beer balls were big.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go through one of those on a weekend without a problem.
Yeah, and when they're empty, you just put them on a lamppost
Right.
for a nice colored lampshade.
Yeah. Yep.
So you're fitting right in.
So I was, every weekend was, at the time my wife would say, she wasn't a big drinker by any means, but, her brothers were and her father. And, she would say, the only thing that scares me is that if there's a fire,
Oh.
I won't be able to wake you up.
Oh, wow.
Because you were getting pretty shit-faced. So did there come a time in your drinking when there were repercussions or there were problems?
No.
Yeah.
Never.
Well, I mean, problems with relationships. I mean, obviously I upset, my wife then. And I think it, maybe started getting a little worse as at that time, my wife had cancer, my mother had cancer.
It's a lot
So
to
I was
deal
taking
with.
them both to chemo, and they both died within a year of each other.
Really?
Goodness gracious.
And, trying to raise my daughter, it was tough, and it just,
That's a lot, man.
Jack was always a good thing. And,
Yeah.
And again, I was still playing a lot. in the
Anything
bands.
to not deal with those feelings.
At that time.
Yeah.
Like
my
it's,
God.
when I played out at times, I wouldn't, I wasn't pounding them down, but when I got home, I'm so wired from playing out.
So you'd
Yeah,
play
yeah.
a gig, you'd have a drink or two.
Right.
Then you'd get home, you're like, I can't go to sleep.
Exactly. I was just too wired.
Yeah.
So I just, have 3, 4
See, I'm
more.
like the opposite. After I play a gig, I get home, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so tired, I fall right asleep.
No, it was.
It's because I'm old, though.
Oh.
It wasn't because I was a young man playing. So, obviously, something happened that made you think, I need help.
Well, there were a few times after that. I had, it was a tough bout with my daughter, who was 17 then, and we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things. And that was my only salvation. The loneliness and all that. And, then I met somebody, and I, didn't quit, but I wasn't on it as much. And then, and it's for some reason I wouldn't drink out that much and when I was playing out, but I would get home and, a couple of beers and didn't do it. So I'd have some vodka tonics, and next thing you know, it's late and go to bed. And I think after I retired, it got, I don't have to get up in the morning.
Right.
So I just took advantage of it and I had some problems with relationship then, which I, feel bad about.
It's very easy, and looking back on my drinking, it's very easy to slip into a mode of living where your life kind of imperceptibly starts to turn into this, I'm going to do this until I can drink tonight. So it's like, it's okay, I'll take care of this because then I can drink tonight. And then your life does become centered around that little spot of time where you get your relief.
And that becomes your life, and there's really not much room for others when that starts to happen, too.
Well, plus it's progressive. So
Right.
you start drinking earlier. You start
You're
getting
not
drunker.
thinking, like, obviously you said, you feel bad about some of that stuff, right?
Yep. And there were times after work I would, stop at a liquor store and grab a couple lottery tickets, and I'd buy the fun size bottles. And, the mini ones, and stepped them on the way home if I had a bad day. Just like, it's not to get blasted, but it just took the edge off.
Take the edge off, man.
Yeah, it's a cliche, but it's true.
Of course it is. That sense of ease and comfort.
What was your style of drinking? Like, were you a binger? Were you a maintenance drinker? Were you blackout?
Towards the end, I got to the point of being blackout.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I had some of that earlier on,
yeah.
when you big parties and that, and I didn't know when to stop.
Yeah, once it passes through, who knows?
Yeah, it's like, excuse me, it's like I saw a movie once, and a guy wanted to buy a bartender a drink, and the bartender says, "I don't drink." He said, "One's too many, and a million's not enough."
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's the way I was. And even friends now that I tell them I'm in AA, I never really drank that much.
My wife is a perfect example of that. She didn't know that I drank to the extent I did.
My ex-wife was like that. She goes, "I don't know why you're even going to AA. You really don't drink that much."
Right.
I drank every day.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes the buzz was a 4-drink buzz, but often it was a blackout or drink till you fall asleep, at least,
It start at 4 in the afternoon, and
Yeah.
mow the lawn. Next thing you know, you can barely stand in
Mow
front
the
of the
lawn.
grill.
I used to mow the whole neighborhood's lawns. That's no shit. I used to be known as
And
the
we
lawnmower.
we are very good at hiding it too.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. And I thought I did pretty good.
Yeah.
But we had a liquor cabinet, and she would go, "Where's that caramel vodka?"
Oh yeah. You know what I
I
did
spilled
one
it
time?
on
And
accident.
I go, "Yeah."
That's what I would
She'd
say.
look at me. I go, "I don't know."
I had I was doing I used to own a video production company. I was doing some TV work for a vineyard. And after we got done, the owner was like, "Hey, anything you want, go in there. I'll give you employee price at $3 a bottle." So I was a drinker. So I bought a case of different kinds of wine. I brought it home. My wife's like, "You're never going to drink all that." So I took it and I put them all on their sides and stacked them up. And it looked, I'm like, this looks really cool.
Yeah, connoisseur.
About a month later, it was gone.
But when they're on their sides like that.
And my wife was like, "How much of that did you give away?" And I'm like, "Oh, a lot of it. I didn't give any of it away." But I would go to bed with a book, like to read a book.
Yeah.
I would crack open a bottle of wine, drink the whole thing by myself while I was reading, and then go to sleep like it was no big deal. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a funny thing too. Is she would have a couple glasses of wine at dinner, and that's like half a bottle, right?
Can be.
So I have
generous.
a bottle of wine, and she goes, "Wow, you drank 3/4 of that?" It's 3 glasses.
It's grapes.
It's just 3 mugs of wine, 3 tankards of wine.
Tankards. Yeah, that's the good word.
That's the big deal.
I didn't know the straw was that
It's
big.
for the antioxidants.
It is funny, because we are the same age and we grew up in the same environment, both, in family probably to some degree, but also culturally, that you don't at the time see this as a problem.
Right.
So I'm drinking a bottle of wine. What's the big deal? The whole bottle? Well, why not? I'm not driving. You can always say.
Well, that was my justification
Right.
too.
Yes.
I'm home.
Same thing with the mixed drinks.
I'm not going anywhere.
I ended up being a wild turkey guy. 101 got me there quick. And so I'd fill a glass with ice, pour it almost full of wild turkey, put a splash of ginger ale in there, and I was good. And then you drink 4 of those, and you think, okay, and they're easily doubles, if not triples. And then you're like, I just drank all that in one sitting, but I was like, well, it's only 4 drinks. That's not crazy. People do that all the time.
Yep.
People don't do that all the time.
No.
Just the people I hung out with.
Right.
And you know what? That's another funny thing is we do find our people.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
And with the band,
Yep.
boy, that's easy,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
People always, you want to drink. And now, being in band sober, and we go out to bars and we don't drink, and you see a lot of shit going on that you never really saw before. You never really noticed before with the drunk people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think I've told this.
Even yourself.
I think I've told this story before. We were at a gig. It was an outdoor place, nice place really, and we're playing, and we're probably maybe 5 songs in, and I look around out at the crowd, and I see a husband and wife arguing, yelling at each other, screaming at each other. I see another 2 people at the bar, just like sucking face, drunk and just blah, blah, all over. And then I see a fist fight break out between 2 women. And these are big girls. And they're swinging punches and grabbing hair and shit. And they finally break them up. And we never stop playing. And we're playing Crossroads, Eric Clapton Crossroads. Down to the Crossroads. We don't stop playing. And I'm watching this, and it's an easy song to play. So it's like you don't really have to pay that much attention to it. And then they finally get them separated. One girl sits down on the picnic table. And the other girl, I see her sneaking around the back of the bar. And I see her come out the other side and behind the girl, grab her by her ponytail and pull her straight off the bench backwards until she hits with a thud and then run away laughing. And I'm just sitting there playing going, God damn.
Yeah.
Alcohol is a motherfucker.
They're having fun.
Gosh.
So that's the environment. But so at what point did you say to yourself, something's got to change?
I felt that way a few years ago a couple of times because one time I was almost going to call it AA.
What precipitated that? Anything specific?
Just upsetting my partner.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And, like you said, you think you can have a few drinks at night and they're not going to notice. And then, you get into bed and it's, you smell like a brewery. It's like, what?
Yeah.
So I only had one.
Did she call you on it, basically?
Oh, yeah. All the time.
All right,
all the time. And I never learned. And then, in the last couple of years, it just got worse. I was just, blacking out more. And I think I'm a pretty witty guy and a good sense of humor, but when I drink, my sense of humor gets darker.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't know your audience...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
I'm feeling uncomfortable and attacked right now.
and you got to know your audience. And, and I was talking to somebody at a meeting on my journey. And, as you know, when you're in a band, that's your family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's your second family, whatever. Because
spend a lot of time together.
Guys, you hang out together. Outside of band guys, I don't think of anybody else I really see
on a regular basis.
Were in a band with me.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them I knew were getting affected by it. And I realized it's, not that I'm diminishing how it affected my partner by any means, but, when you start seeing your bandmates, some of them, we got to talk, and then when you think you're being the funniest guy in the world and walking around like Groucho Marx,
Did it affect your playing out?
I have to say yes, because at times I had stage fright. So I would have a beer before I go on, and it would loosen me up. And honestly, there's times I felt that my playing was a little more creative. But, just like I said, taking the edge off, it just felt comfortable, relaxed. Mm-hmm. But then, after a while, you feel like you're Hendrix.
Yeah, and you're not.
You think you're Hendrix.
The biggest problem is you're not.
Right, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or Jack Bruce, whatever.
Did anybody in the band say, Jesus, you're drinking too much during the gigs, man?
Nope.
No, never?
No, never happened.
Okay.
Because I never really did. It was just towards the end and never got done.
Okay.
And you're tearing down, you pound 4 or 5 beers down to, get your strength back or whatever, because it takes a lot out of you.
So you said that a couple times before you actually sought out help, you thought, I should probably do this. But then you, the next day or whatever, you say, well, maybe I'm just overthinking it. I'll be fine. I'll just change whatever.
Well, I that may have happened, but I think a lot of it, I would quit drinking for 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Figure, I haven't drank in 3-4 weeks now. Boom, I'm back at it, and it's 6-pack is gone in a couple hours.
Yeah, I couldn't do that for a day. Yeah. I remember after my first blackout, it scared me, and I thought, all right, I got to stop. I got to just stop for a little bit. I lasted like 6 that night.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, I'm okay now.
Yeah, that was mine when my wife found me with my face down in a bowl of spaghetti.
Oh.
And I don't remember any of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa. But again, didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm having fun, not hurting anybody. And
right. They're overreacting maybe a little bit.
So what was the thing that precipitated you coming in? And how did you go about it? Did you call a service center or whatever?
A bandmate of mine had died. He lung cancer.
Yep.
And went fast. So his favorite bar, he did a lot of work there. He played there, and So a friend of mine that was in that band was playing there at this bar, and so I went out with my sister to hear him play. And my buddy liked Buffalo Trace. So, I hadn't eaten all day. And it was an Irish bar, so they had really good Irish draft. So I had a few of them, and I want to have some Buffalo Trace and memories of my buddy. And
the Buffalo Trace is a drink.
Yeah.
It's
a
bourbon.
beer?
It's a well
Bourbon.
sought. No, it's a well sought out,
Yeah.
sought after
Bourbon.
Whiskey or something?
Whiskey, yeah. Bourbon.
Oh, when you said my buddy liked, I thought it was a band.
No.
That is a good name for a band, though.
Yeah, you're right.
Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, no, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
So, and I don't remember her driving me home. So, which she did. And I got up in the morning, and I thought I was going to be shot. My partner was so upset, and I completely understood why. And so that day I sat down and I said, I got to change. So I called AA and, asked for the meetings were. So she told me what app to look at.
Yep.
So I went on the app and I found there was one right down the road from me. So that night I went to a meeting.
Raise your hand, say it's your first meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Did
In fact,
you...
when I pulled in, the first person I got out of the car was the person that was running the meeting.
Oh, okay.
So I asked her, "Is this
Yeah.
where the AA meeting is? Come on in." Yep. We're out here, and met some wonderful people, and I didn't feel. I felt, should I be here, kind of thing.
Yeah, am I really that bad?
Exactly, but I knew I was. Because when I went around and heard all the stories, I've never been arrested, never beat anybody up, never lost a job. I've been mild compared to some of the stories I heard.
Right, your bottom was higher than
Just
some.
different.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not diminishing any of that, believe me, because, I heard some
But
stories.
you were still suffering just the same.
Oh, yeah. No, I was my tail between my legs then. And I had to make it, make amends and make it better. And so that's the last time I had a drink, that night before.
Really, you were first in and clean
That's it.
sense.
Said I'm done.
Did you start going to meetings on a regular basis?
Yes.
Right off?
Yep.
Like right in a row, one day after another for a while?
I didn't do that because I was trying to feel it out. So I went to one on a Friday night and kept going to that. And then that person took me to another meeting during the day. And then I started going 2 nights a week on a Tuesday night. And then I switched it up. And I go to one every Tuesday, every Thursday night right now. And, this summer I haven't done more because with the projects I have with my music, I'm not making excuses, but a lot of practicing, a lot of band stuff. And, but I didn't drink, so I...
Okay,
so I should go to more meetings, but...
Yeah.
Did you get a sponsor?
No, I haven't done that. Nobody's really approached me about it. Not that that's an excuse.
Yeah, and they won't. You actually have to
but
approach
I don't
them.
know who is a sponsor, who would say, hey,
Hi, Gino.
Anybody who's
Hi.
anyone who's been through the steps. This is what I was always told. If you've been through the steps and you got some long-term sobriety, which I would say would be more than a year, maybe 2, and you hear their message and you like their message, nobody's going to come up and say, "I want to sponsor you."
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that.
So you haven't worked the steps then?
Not all of them. I've one I worked hard on was the one to make amends, because I knew there were some people I heard out there, and with my playing out and things like that, and I always in contact with them. Yeah. So I apologized, and
I think,
and I had to get that off of me because it was really eating at me.
Yeah. I think your approach to the program is not uncommon.
Not at all uncommon.
However, I will say this: the steps are in order for a reason, and
I
they'll tell
understand
you.
that.
And you've heard all this before, right?
Yep.
They'll say, you need to get a sponsor. You need to start working the steps in the order they're in if you want to really get the benefits of the design for living. But I know a guy in AA who's got really long-term sobriety, who sponsors people that never had a sponsor, never read the book. And, that's not for me, and that's not what I was taught. But people stay sober that way.
Well, I mean, there is, you learn things in the rooms, right?
Yeah.
You learn how
Right.
to cope.
Yep.
You
Mhm.
learn how
Right.
to share. You learn how to ask for help. But the thing is, there is a much deeper result that you can have as a result of working on the step work.
And the bottom line is these are suggestions.
Yep.
Right. I totally understand.
Yep.
The only requirement for memberships is a desire to stop drinking. You obviously have that. So welcome to our club, Gino.
thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be part of it.
But don't be afraid to get a sponsor.
Yeah, no, I will look into that.
Don't be afraid to work the steps.
Yep.
And Mark does it perfectly because it's not really comfortable to ask another guy, "Hey, will you be my sponsor?"
Right.
Oh, it's
like,
tough.
It's
It was
like
a
asking
bitch.
somebody on their first date.
Yeah.
Will you be my? Will you be my date to the prom?
Right.
Like, kind of looking at your feet. Would
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
I had it easy. I met my sponsor before I even walked into the first. I met him in the sidewalk outside the first meeting, and I walked in with him and I sat with him at the meeting. And after he took me to his house and he gave me a big book and said he was going to pick me up the next day to go to the noon meeting. And he said, "I'll be your temporary sponsor." And I'm like, "Thank God."
Yeah, right.
Because I don't want to ask anybody to be my sponsor.
Yeah.
But at one point I did say, I said, "You're my sponsor, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." I mean, it's been a couple months.
Yeah.
Well, and I think, thinking about it, I wasn't sure at what point should I get one? Do I need one?
Mm-hmm.
Do I need one?
Yeah.
I mean, all those, things went
Sure.
through my head, and
Yeah.
I
I mean, I can only offer my experience with it, but my experience told me, yes, you need a sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you need to work the steps, and you need to read the book to get the kind of sobriety that the people that talk the talk and walk the walk have.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do the program.
Yeah.
Not anyone, but people stay dry off of just going to meetings.
Yeah.
But don't sell yourself short. The program has so much to offer in ways that when I came in, I got to be honest with you, when I came in, I didn't want to stop drinking. I just wanted to feel better. I felt like shit. I was in a very dark place, and I didn't know how to get out of it, and everything I tried didn't work. So I was desperate. And I went to AA, and I'm like, all I want to do is feel better. Then I felt better for a week, and I went out and drank.
Yep.
And I felt like shit again. I did that over and over and over until I came to the realization the only way I'm going to feel better is to complete abstinence and to do what these people are doing that are all happy and, leading these lives that I want. And so I finally surrendered to that, but it took me a while.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
the
it took me
difference
a year.
between, huh?
Yeah, it took me a year to really.
Yeah.
Well, before I went in, what led up to it as well, and I'm thinking about it is, all those mornings waking up and going, God, man, I got to stop.
Yep.
Just feeling like crap
Yep.
and just not myself. But I did it.
And the neat part is now, after what I've done and the work that I've done and continue to do, I got to be clear about that, is I can wake up in the morning instead of having those feelings. I can say, well, I now have a set of tools, and the 12 steps can be a tool for getting through any problem that life challenges me with, right?
Yep.
And that's so freeing, right? And then we talk about, how free we are and the freedoms we have through sobriety, and that's just a cool thing. So, yeah.
You know what? There's probably people out there who are listening to this
Mm-hmm.
podcast that are in the same boat you are. They've made it this far without a sponsor, without working the steps, and they're like, maybe this is good enough, and maybe it is. But there's so much more to be gained.
Well, I'm not thinking this is good enough.
Oh, good. Okay.
Like I sat down with one of my guitar players, and he said, I didn't have any drinking problem because we've known each other for 15 years. And
Yeah.
we've been to parties together and all that, but never fallen down and all that. And so we played a gig a little while ago, and he's drinking beer, and I was kidding him. I said, "Man, how does that taste, huh?"
Oh.
And he goes, "Oh, it sucks, man. You don't want it."
Thank God.
But he said, he said, "I really admire you." He said, you can sit with people that are having a drink." And I said, "If I didn't, I wouldn't have any friends to hang out with."
Yeah, I mean, there is a real world out there.
I mean-
Most of my close friends now are in the program,
Yeah.
but I've been in it a long time.
Right.
But I can exist with people who drink normally. What I don't like is I've been out to bars with my wife where people are just getting hammered.
Yeah, they annoy the shit
10
out of me.
minutes in, I am
I'm
like,
over it.
I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Well, it's my partner. Every time I go to dinner, she goes, "Do you mind if I have a drink?"
Not a problem.
Whatever you want. I'll drive home. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you know?
but the drunk people, and then, I'm guilty of this. So when I get drunk, I think I'm funny as hell.
Exactly.
And they do too. And I'm like, this is not fun. This is not funny.
Yep.
This is.
And to your point, watching, being sober and playing out a lot and seeing people, it's kind of a rude awakening to think,
it's like,
man,
and
I was like that.
Oh, yeah, that is normal drinking behavior in a bar.
But here's the thing. You just admitted that conversation entered your head again, And so, one of my favorite saying is the monkey's off my back, but the circus is still in town.
That's right.
And, that is what starts to happen more frequently, and,
Yeah.
And it's just...
Right, and it's a little more at risk in that without a sponsor, without the steps, without that, foundation of work, that you are more susceptible. That if you're put in a position where alcohol is available and everybody's drinking and you don't leave or you don't have someone to call or whatever, you are a little more vulnerable.
I agree. But so far it hasn't. Yeah.
Hasn't been a problem.
To give kudos to some people here, I've met some fantastic people.
Yeah.
In AA and and one of the best bands I've been in.
Yeah. Right.
People in AA.
Yeah.
Everybody in this program has to find their own way.
That's right.
And all the help you would ever need or want is available all the time.
Yeah.
But we each progress in our own way, and these are suggestions. So, you're the one that's ultimately, you're the only one responsible for your sobriety.
Exactly.
And that's same thing for me. So I'm responsible to do what I got to do. If I need help, it's there.
Yep.
And we talked about asking for help, and that's very hard for me to do.
But man, I'm glad you're enjoying some of the freedoms of sobriety already.
Oh, it's changed my world. I wish I would have done it 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Just because
at least now you're not going to die from it and never experience it.
Right. And all the blood work I've had in my liver and kidneys check out fine. So there's no problem there, and much more focused and really into what I'm doing.
Cool.
Well, it is one day at a time, and every day it gets better, and there's a lot of growth available. So that is sobriety.
It is.
Right?
It is.
So until next time on the Glum Lot Podcast, I'm Mark.
I'm Brad.
I'm Gino.
As we wrap up another episode of the Glum Lot Podcast, we want to extend our heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you who tuned in today. Navigating the path to recovery from alcohol and other substances is a journey filled with challenges, triumphs, and self-discovery. Remember, we're not affiliated with Alcoholics Anonymous, but we're here to provide a safe space for open conversations about the complexities of recovery. Your stories, courage, and resilience inspire us and our listeners alike. If you or someone you know is on the transformative journey, know that you're not alone. Join us next time as we continue to explore the diverse facets of recovery. Until then, stay strong, stay connected, and remember that each day is a step towards a brighter, sober tomorrow. Thank you for being part of the Glum Lot community.